Hey y'all, and welcome back to my channel for another journal video. I'm so excited. Today I'm going to be setting up my wellness and fitness journal for Q3. I'm going to be using a journal, 2 different pinks, 2 different orange, 2 different greens, 2 different blues, a pencil, a white Jelly Roll pen, 3 different Micron pens, a gray marker and a black marker, and of course a ruler. Now, of course, you don't have to use all of those colors if you don't want to. I was actually very apprehensive of using them myself, but I thought it's been a while since I've seen you guys. It's been a while since I set up a journal video. Why not use as many colors for the summer as possible? Duh. And also, the pictures I was looking at, which I will show some on the screen as I work, they were all black and white. So I had the creative liberty of choosing the colors I wanted. For this setup, I am using an Artist Loft journal that I got from Michaels. Now, I showed you 2 different journals because I got them on sale actually as a set of 3, I believe, for $20. So if you guys have a Michaels in your area, they're always having some type of sale, some type of coupon. I would encourage you to go get those. I am also using my Crayola Supertips, which I have not touched in a very long time. But I decided to use these because number 1, I already have the 100 set with so many colors. Number 2, I didn't have enough of my Posca paint pens, nor did I have enough of my Tombow markers. So since I didn't have enough colors in either one of those 2, I decided to go ahead and just use my Crayola Supertips instead of buying more of another marker. So right now, it may be a little hard to tell what I'm drawing, maybe not, I don't know. But I decided that I was doing a beach Polaroid road trip theme for 2024 Q3. So the first picture I'm drawing is of a Polaroid beach sunset. The sun itself is that dark orange color, and I am using the dark orange and the dark pink in alternating colors to represent the sun rays of the sunset. I am also using the dark blue and the light blue to represent the waves in the ocean, also in alternating colors. And for these type of pictures, or for these type of markers, I should say, I'm always working with the lightest colors first. So yes, I did start with the sunset, but I did make sure to start with the orange and then go over with the pink, just for bleeding purposes. I don't want my dark colors to blend into my light colors if I use my dark colors first. Same thing with the ocean. I use the light blue first, and then I kind of use the dark blue to shape up the waves as I would like them, and of course for the bleeding effect, as I mentioned. I also made sure to use 2 very dark colors for the palm trees, so a very dark brown and a very dark green, so that they could cover up all of the bright colors in my background. In that first picture, I also used a light brown to represent the sand on the beach. I did go over some of those parts to make it a little darker, to give it some depth, since I was only using 1 color as opposed to, let's say, using 2 colors like I did in the water, and using that dark blue to give the water some depth. I just kind of made the heel part of the sand very dark, and then I colored in the rest with just 1 layer of the brown from the marker. This next picture I'm drawing is basically a drawing of a highway. So I'm going to be coloring in the sunset in the back, making sure to go around the boxes for the highway signs. I am going from lightest to darkest, so I did color the road in dark gray first. It's the road in the front, and then there's a hill in the back, so I covered that up as well. I do want to mention that all of these are sketched out for the most part. This one is the one I sketched out the most, so I know exactly where these colors are going to go. Once I am done with the road, the sky, and the signs, it took me a while to figure out that I did want to use a different green for the grass, which is why I did that one next instead of doing it first. Hence, that's why I broke my rule of doing the light colors first. The next thing I do is add some white lines in the middle of the road. I'm going to add some black accents for the fences on the side of the roads, as well as in the sign above. And the last thing I'm going to do is add some details into the green sign. All of the pictures I use for inspiration will be linked below in my description box as a Pinterest board. I do try to keep them fairly organized so that you guys can see what I see when I'm creating these pictures, and maybe you can even print them off and cut them out for your journal as well. Please let me know down in the comments, do you guys have like a weight loss fitness journal? I understand if you don't draw it yourself, there are a lot of different products that you can use that are already made. Or if you guys are like tracking it on an app, how are you tracking your fitness journal? Are you even on a fitness journey? Or is it just me who fell off in the last year and needs to get right back on that horse? I do have a bullet journal, which is where I'm going to be keeping a lot of my habit trackers. So I have a lot of different places that I am going to be recording and tracking my progress, and this is one of them. So on that sign, I did write the beach in 128 miles. That is not accurate from where I live, but I did take a trip to the beach this summer, which is why I wanted to do the beach Polaroid thing. So that is the cover page. It's very bright, colorful, and bold, just like I like it for the summer. Let's go ahead and move on to the next page. This next page is going to be an intro to quarter 3. So the whole left side of the page is going to be a very large picture of, again, a sunset on a beach with 2 palm trees. And this, I'm going to draw a hammock in between those 2 palm trees. So as I do this, I can give you guys a little bit of a rundown about my fitness journey, my fitness journal, and the trackers that I use, so you guys kind of get an idea of how I use this journal. As I mentioned before, I am going to have a bullet journal for this year, and I also use apps like MyFitnessPal to track my calories. I've been using it for years. It keeps me pretty much on track with my calories and my macros. If you guys have been following my journals or even my journey, then you guys know that I lost almost 20 pounds last year doing these journals. Unfortunately, I have gained a lot of that weight back, almost all of it. So since I've gained most of that weight back, I am again on a journey to lose this weight and to keep it off, and to also address some other health concerns that I may address in future videos. So I am going to share my weight on a different page, but I just want you guys to know why I'm doing these journals. Number one, they keep me focused. I can see my goals very, very clearly here and in my bullet journal. And this is a way to help me keep track of my progress in a creative way. Like I said before, I know that there are other resources out there, like on Etsy or even just in your local craft stores, where you can keep all of this together. And sometimes I wish I would just buy one myself, but there are other times where I just can't find the ones that are as simple as I would like them to be, or have enough blank pages for me to write what I need to write. I don't know. I'm not sure if I'm just used to creating things at this point that I don't want to use anything that's pre-made. I don't know. I could just be being difficult, but I know that there are great resources out there. So please let me know down in the comments if you have any ideas, and I will look into them. Also, if you guys have been following my channel, you know that I have started reading a lot more. I've gotten back into reading, and I'm not going to do a reading journal or anything. I may do like reading spreads in my bullet journal, but that has taken up a lot of my time as well. So I would like to spend some time doing that when possible. So as you can see on the left hand side, I did basically a very, very large version of the Polaroid pictures that I did on the first page, alternating between that orange and pink for the sunset, the 2 blues for the sea, and creating those palm trees with the hammock. I finish it off by writing quarter 3 on the right hand side, and that's it for our intro page for quarter 3. This next page is going to be my goals page. So like the last pages, I think this is just a habit of mine now. I'm going to try to break this habit, but I'm going to put the decorative part on the left-hand side. And so I am creating a basically the same picture, but this time it's going to be inside of a pair of sunglasses. If you want to see the inspiration for this picture, it will be linked below in my description box on a Pinterest board. The picture that I was inspired by is all black and white, and then I looked into some different inspiration pictures to figure out what colors I wanted to use. I played around with some of my Crayola markers on the test pages on the back of this journal, and that's how these all came to life. In order to write Q3 in this circular heading, I did use a very large, it was either the bottom of a candle or I'm not sure, I forgot what I used, but I did use something that was a circle. So it was a perfect circle going over and around the sunglasses. I did use that dark green that I used for the head of the palm trees for the wording on this page, again, so that it is dark enough to go over the vibrant colors of my background. On this next page, I'm drawing out some shells to represent each section for the 3 goals that I have for Q3. So, of course, my goal is to lose weight, but I have larger goals and I have more specific goals as well. Because in the last about 14 months, there have been some very, very large life-changing events that have happened in my life and in the lives of my family and the people that I love. Some very negative ones and some also very positive ones. And I am an emotional eater. So when I'm very, very sad, I eat. When I'm very, very happy, I eat. We eat to celebrate. I eat for comfort. It is just something that I have formed the habit of doing. Now, I do want to break that habit, and that is one of the focuses. I also want to be stronger physically, literally physically. I also want to be stronger mentally as it pertains to discipline and my intake of food for fuel and not just for comfort. I would also love to lower some of my macros for a healthier lifestyle. Most importantly, and almost above all, I just want to be dedicated to consistency. I want to be consistent with all of the habits I choose are very important for my lifestyle and the life I want to live. This next page I'm going to be using to track my weight. So it is a very, very large graph. In the top right-hand corner, I am going to be drawing 2 different Polaroids. And then on the left-hand side, I'm going to be using for the basis of my line graph. So in the next 3 months, one of my goals is to lose about 15 pounds, which is something my doctor and I talked about. I also have a goal of speaking to more medical professionals such as nutritionists, and I want to start Pilates once I have the chance. I find the gym that I like and everything is in order for me to do so. I haven't said this yet, but I guess I'm going to go ahead and say it now. I am not a medical professional, nor am I telling you to lose 15 pounds in the next 3 months. That is just the goal that I have. Whatever your goals are, I would love to hear them down in the comments. Please go ahead and take this journey with me, however that looks for you. If you don't like to track your weight, I completely understand. This is just one of the ways that I'm tracking my progress. I'm also going to get a little bit off track here just to mention something that I keep forgetting to mention. You don't have to go through anything drastic to get off track or to gain weight. I am not saying by any means that anybody should be off track because of something that happens. And if you just happen to stop doing things or you changed your routine and you've gained a little weight, or you feel like you've lost some progress, but nothing drastic has happened, I am just saying that that's what happened in my life. And it's not an excuse. But I didn't want anybody to feel any type of way if they are not where they want to be, but nothing drastic has happened. I did want to mention that because there are several reasons why you can get quote unquote off track. Now, back to the journal. So all of these pictures are beach themes, and I have decided to do a little bit of a chair and an umbrella in this last picture just because I thought it was cute in one of the drawings that I found. And these 2 Polaroids are going to be my start weight on July 1st, and then my end weight on September 30th. Down at the bottom, I am going to draw a few of these shells and some of these flowers. I'm not gonna lie, I did not love how these flowers turned out. I'm not even sure why I kept drawing them, because they're not doing it for me, but I kept them around. So for this line graph, it's a little hard to see, and I do apologize for that because my hair was in the camera, so the camera was focused on my hair. Since my goal is to lose about 15 pounds in the next 3 months, and healthy weight loss is between ½ pound and 2 pounds every week, every grid space along the bottom of this journal, which is technically the height of my graph, is ½ pound. So that means every 2 grid spaces is 1 full pound. So I went from 190 all the way down to 165 along the height of this graph. And then along the bottom of the graph, I am going to write the date of every Monday starting at July 1st, going all the way to October 8th. I do believe. I did that for 2 reasons. Number 1, I made too many spaces on accident. And number 2, I want to remind myself that I'm going to continue weighing and keeping track of my weight all the way into October. It does not stop at the end of September. On this side where the weight is, I'm putting the words cake by the pound. I just thought it was cute. And for some reason I was singing that Beyonce song, Beyonce. So that's what I wrote. And then at the bottom, I'm just going to write the word Mondays, because those are the days that I am going to be tracking my weight. On this Polaroid picture, I am writing July 1st, and my weight at the time, I believe, was 186. It was either 186 or 187. I can't see it right now, and I forgot. And then I'm going to write September 30th on that last Polaroid picture with a blank, so that I can then go back and write my final weight. The last spread for this setup is going to be used to keep track of my measurements. So on the first day or the first Monday of every month, I haven't decided yet, I am going to measure my arms, my bust, my waist, around my belly button, my thighs, and my hips, so I can keep track of progress that way as well, because we know that the weight is not the end all be all of our progress. So I'm going to use a different color for every month. For July, I did choose to use that bright yellow, and I'm going to create a space for all of those areas, outline this in a box, and I'm going to do the exact same thing for the next few months. And with a little editing magic, that is it. All the way over on the right hand side, I do have a space for changes. So at the end of the 3 months, I am going to record the total number of inches lost in every single area, as well as calculate how many inches I've lost all together. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Here's the final flip through. Leave me a comment down below about how you're tracking your progress, and then come back to see me in the next video so we can set up our July planners together and join me on this journey.